You guys would go ape shit looking, living where we're looking to move, out in the middle of no freaking where with the bears and the deer.
I have deer.
Yeah, we have deer up by us. Well, by Jeff. Jeff, he does. Not me, not so much. We got a few coyotes out by Wonder Lake. So if you got any small dogs or cats, you don't want to leave them out at night.
No, deer, especially once the summer months end. Like, you can see whole family of deer behind my house at the forest preserve. I mean, they literally just like live back there.
You're right on the back of the forest preserve. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're what? Right on the edge of Morton Grove, on the opposite side of Morton Grove from the Chicago line.
I am. I'm right across the street from the Morton Grove station.
Oh,
Tina, kill it.
Okay. I used to have a girlfriend in Morton Grove, and I used to have to take the Swift out every day to go and walk like 2 miles to see her, and that finally ended when I called her when I got to the train station, because the Swift, it stops running at 10 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And she was like, oh, yeah, well, I couldn't wait for you tomorrow. I fucked so-and-so. And I'm like, okay, go ahead. Hopped on the train, never went back. I ironically met her at the McDonald's on Dempster there when I was just taking a little walk around on one of my Stone subway trips.
Yeah, we were talking at work about McDonald's, about how the radio station used to be across the street from a McDonald's with no drive-through.
Oh.
Because Lake Forest and the Lake County people, the upper crust didn't like the fact that all the riffraff would be using a drive-through. Droll.
Jeez. That's better than Wonks, though. Wonks was out in the middle of factories. So if you didn't bring your food or order a pizza delivered, you were up Schitt's Creek.
Mm-hmm. Now the Weef and where we met, it was near civilization, so lucky for
yeah.
Oh boy! Hey, I see WGN just got approved to be sold.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, that came up. Tribune Media is being bought by Nexstar.
Oh.
So on top of dropping the Cubs broadcast, whether that was the Cubs or WGN.
No, that's not GN. That's they are actually going into a deal with Salem to do the Cubs TV network. This is so it's called Marquee, and it's supposed to debut in February of 2020.
Well, they're trying to pattern after the Yankees with the Yes Network.
And the Dodgers. The Dodgers have a network, too.
And a lot of people are pissed off about the Dodgers because unless you're rich, you can't afford to see the damn games.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. Because people are curious if it's going to be something that's available with packages that they already have, or how much they're going to have to pay extra, or all that other stuff. So it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how this all works.
You're going to have to change the Go Cubs Go song next year.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Because it mentions WGN.
I think they already have, because they're on the score they're on the score for radio. They have been for a little, they haven't been on GN radio for a while. Ironically, the White Sox are on GN radio now, which is
wow,
weird.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's just weird. I'm like, that's something that I never imagined. And here's, this is from Friday. I was gonna say, oh look, Ivan's dancing around. He's live. No, he's not.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's not live either. Well, we're not live either.
Not yet. Well, yeah, that's true. By the time you let it out, it's Wednesday and Friday. So
I could go to bed at 2 a.m. and maybe put it out Monday night or Tuesday morning, but
that's all right.
I gotta sleep.
No, you got to put up with those idiots at the hardware store, and I'm not talking about the other employees, even though that may apply also.
I had a couple idiots, but most of the idiots are the one that walk in the door after we open.
Yeah. I've worked at McDonald's. I've worked at Burger King. I was a cashier at Rite Aid.
We don't have a Rite Aid out by us.
Yeah, Rite Aid. I don't think Rite Aid is Illinois anymore. Or I don't know if they ever did. But
they downsized and they sold a lot to Walgreens. I know my 2 local stores are changing over to Walgreens, which sucks even more. At least Rite Aid gave you discounts.
That's a Popeye Bluto thing between CVS and Walgreens. Usually they're right across the street from each other here.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I lived there, everything was Jewel Osco.
Mm-hmm.
You went to Osco for the drugs. You went to Jewel for the groceries.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's still, that's
same building, yeah.
Yeah, but I noticed going on Google Earth and doing street tours of the areas where I used to live, not only seeing how they changed, I noticed every Jewel Osco had closed in the area where I was.
Oh, every area where you were. I was
Dominic's is what's closing around here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dominic's is gone. Dominic's is long gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dominic's is gone. Pizza.
Now they're all going in with like super Walmarts and Meijer.
Yeah, the super Walmarts are trying that. And surprisingly, in the city, we don't get really too much of that. That's more out in the suburbs.
Yeah.
You know, you go Nassau County, and you go like maybe 25 miles, you'll find the only Walmart in the area.
So it's been a couple weeks since you've been here. So what you been up to, Steve, Scott, Fred, Jeff?
Billy Bob.
Okay, well,
Bartholomew.
I'll tell you, Mr.
I just took a nap. I'm sorry, I got your name wrong.
I was just going to say,
Albert.
I'll tell you, Mr. Edwin. Yes, I pay attention to the show, no matter how flying I am.
Nice.
Actually, hopefully we're probably recording, but
here's the preferred method to listen. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, well, as
nice.
You probably saw, I spent almost 2 weeks up at Sue's property up in Massachusetts, which was an absolute blast. You know, usually I go up there and I, sit by. I'm down by the riverside staring at the Hypnotoad, but in this case, the dog was with us. We were dog sitting the dog, so more of my attention was spent on taking 20 million pictures of the dog in the water. And the rest was up on the hill, just watching the turkey vultures and deer and, whatever other critters wandered onto the property.
You get one with nature.
Oh, I love nature. I'm not PETA crazy about animals, but I love animals, sitting on the back screened-in porch at night, listening to the coyotes and the owls and, the porcupine squeaking around, it's very relaxing, very fun.
You know what you call it, light pollution from the urban areas, so you let less stars at night?
Yeah, I get a lot. There is some, more than there used to be now that they switched over to these damn LED lights, but for the most part it's not bad. The nearest towns are like 25 miles each way, either direction, so you might get occasional pollution from like the scattered intersection that has lights, but other than that it's not bad. You can actually see the Milky Way.
Yeah, the galaxy belt. Yeah, that is so cool. I love it.
Definitely. I was up there one time, and fortunately Sue was inside because it would have scared the crap out of her, but Fireball went over.
Oh,
and it was like one of those things where it flew over and you're like, what the hell? And the whole property lit up to daylight for like a quarter of a second and pitch black again. It was awesome.
Meteorites.
I'm waiting for one to hit in one of the fields or something, or in the woods where I can go get it. That stuff's worth a lot of money.
Yeah. Space rocks, man.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And, we're going up in October, and hopefully we don't see too many hunters, because we're going to have to kick them off the property if we do. It is hunting season, but there's a big wildlife management area all around the property, so they don't have to be hunting on the property itself.
Are there signs that say no hunting around here and all that?
Used to, but they always tear them down or they shoot them. It's typical. It's the type of thing we really can't stop it unless we catch them because we're not up there full time.
Yeah, it's tough.
And the maintenance guy, he works during the daytime. He comes for a couple hours at night and then does a general check and then goes home. So he doesn't catch them a lot of times either. But that's okay. And let's see, what else did I do? I went to the Mutts game.
Mm-hmm.
Mutts?
Yeah, Mets.
With an E?
Oh, Mets. Got it. Yeah.
Mets. The way they play, I call them the Mutts. But then again, between Mets early years, Cubs and Mets later years, and more Mets now since I don't get the Cubs broadcasts, I'm used to a losing team. That's just the way I've always been, though, root for the underdog. And it was good. I worked that day, so, and of course every job that I had to do was on the third and fourth floor of a 4-floor walk-up, and with my bad legs. By the time the game ended, I couldn't even walk, but it was all right. We lost as usual, and but I think unless Sue wants to go, I don't think I'm going to many more Mets games. The security at
the security checkpoint.
Oh my God, this guy was ridiculous. Usually I have everything in both hands because you got to empty your pockets and everything, and he wants me and everything's okay. He's like, "What's in the blue case?" Now, what I do with my cigarettes, I home roll my own cigarettes. I buy tubes, I buy tobacco, I have a machine, and I make them, and I put them in in a soap dish. Oh, it only takes me about 7 minutes to do a pack.
Okay.
And I put them in a soap dish, right? Now, this soap dish is light blue. You can actually see through it all the way around. You can tell what's in it. This asshole makes me open up the soap dish and checks every freaking cigarette.
Oh, God.
Now, granted, I look like a hippie from the 70s.
I was going to say, there are some reasons, and some scanty-ass looking old soap dish, and there's some that looks like something
and
like hand-rolled
they don't look
in
store-bought.
Yeah, they don't look store-bought. No, I would never imagine that.
Actually, they do look store-bought.
Do they really? Wow.
Yeah, if you look it up on the internet, Premier cigarette tubes. And what they are is they have the filter line, they have the paper just like a regular cigarette, and the machine just puts the tobacco in up to the filter.
Yeah, well, the thing is with security checkpoints, it depends a lot on the person you're at and what kind of mood they're in that day, too. And sometimes dictate.
This guy's on a power trip. He's one of those that, okay, I'm security,
He's one of the super troopers, yeah.
Right. And it's funny, going into the Grateful Dead concert when I was carrying, didn't even look. Of course, I'm not stupid enough to put anything in my cigarette case anyway. No. You got to be, I'm old hat at that. You're stupid to put it in your cigarette case or your socks.
Right.
Because those are the two places they check. So. And then I went to we went to the place to get the pizza and got back to the seat. And first of all, the crust is rock hard. Oh. Couldn't get through it.
First of all, your mistake is you're eating New York pizza.
Oh, now wait a minute, Jeff.
Oh, shots fired.
Well, yeah, kind of. New York pizza really is good. I've had Chicago pizza, and don't get me wrong, I love Chicago pizza. You can't get deep dish out here. New York, but I do think, personally, New York City pizza is better. You go upstate, it's shit. But
so.
That's my own opinion. And by the way, Jeff, the fold is because the crust is so thin that a lot of times you're walking around with a slice in one hand and let's say your phone in the other. It keeps the damn thing from flopping over and losing all your toppings.
See, if you're going to fold it over, that's a sandwich.
And it's actually more like a taco.
Okay, fine, and have a taco.
Nah, yeah, pepperoni, cheese and sauce taco. Yeah,
sure, why not?
But that's the reason for the fold. I'm not knocking Chicago pizza, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite, it's probably not there anymore, was a place called Maria's. It started on Belmont and Halstead, and then moved to one of the points on Clark and Halstead. That was one of my favorites, and I love all the deep dishes. Like I said, you can't get them here. And
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Ivan would know probably better about someplace like that, but yeah. I don't know about that one.
But I don't know. There's something different. They say it's the water. It might be. I don't like tap water, but I like New York City's tap water. So it might be. Who knows? It's also like bagels. Bagels taste a lot different here.
I guess. I mean, I've never had a bad bagels. Let me rephrase that. I've never had a bad deli bagel or from a Jewish baker bagel in Chicago. I've never had a bad one in that regard. So I don't know.
When I lived there, I didn't go places like that. I only started doing that because when I got together with Sue, because she loved her bagels.
Mm-hmm.
Get the lox and put it on the bagel. No.
Yeah, right.
Fish.
Well,
keep that fish shit away from me.
Hey now.
I don't care if it's heritage.
Hey now.
No, I hate fish.
Well, that's what she. Well, I don't know.
Stop. Yeah.
I'm gonna stop right there.
You know, we had salmon last week. It wasn't that bad here.
Yeah.
Changing subject.
Yes.
Occasionally, I'll cook.
By the way, you're listening to Squares of the Roundtable podcast.
Hey, 17 minutes in. All right. Hey.
Yes. Yeah, right.
I'm Jeff Stein. With me is Mike Boyle.
Yo.
And this week with us is Scott Brown.
Our replacement Ivan this week.
Fake Ivan.
He's not really a fake Ivan, but
no.
Ivan is off at the Kohl's, which is next door to the Walmart and somewhere across the street from the Target.
Dress barn.
Yeah, the dress barn. There we go.
Probably
Ivan's
trying
playing
a few
the dress
things.
barn from 2:30 to 2:15.
Yeah, man. Tip your waitresses.
Yeah, man. Get that boo boo.
Live from the dressing room of Dress Barn.
Live from New York, it's Scott.
God.
Oh, glad to have you back.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pizza I got, they must have made it the night before, and it tasted all stale and crap. And for $18 for what equates out to a little personal pizza, boy, I was not happy.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Well, look, it just seems like, yeah, if you're going to a game, the food is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah,
and there's just not much you can.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it.
But you expect decent taste at least.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
That's
true.
Like their general concessions at Citi Field are Nathan's hot dogs. It's good. Sometimes it's like a rubber hockey puck.
How long depends on how long it's been under the heat or the whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And Citi Field did other things. As you know, the Wilpons are in big because of the Madoff Ponzi scheme, so they're trying to pay off all that. So they have since taken like any entertainment out from in front of the ballpark. They took all the little fan interactive things inside the ballpark out. So basically all you have is the game and the food.
So the opposite of what Wrigley's doing now, which is like...
Exactly.
Wrigley's got like a freaking hotel and... They got like a park and they got all kinds of... it's been a long time since I've been down there to take a look since they did all that stuff, but I hear it's like freaking crazy down there. It was crazy before then you can hang out there, but now it's really like, there's a lot of stuff going on down there during game time where you don't even have to be at the game. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, it's interesting because you tell me cities like desolate or something, or they got everything inside, huh?
It's all focused on the game then, right?
Yeah, I guess. Scott?
Oh, sorry, I hit mute. Sorry, that happens sometimes.
I was
wondering why you weren't
huh?
hearing me. No, they took everything, all the fan interactive things out of the concourses. Of course, they sell all their little Mets gear and everything, and they pick one per family to be upgraded to the Verizon seats and come on the field for first pitch or trivia game or whatever. But other than that, it's just the food and the game anymore. It really isn't all that fun than fighting through their overzealous security.
Yeah, and all the in the name of security homeland. I understand that we got to watch out for the bad guys, but
it's interesting because I have a family member who has Bear season tickets.
Yeah,
and my understanding is that they have gone totally away from paper tickets. That you have to have a smartphone,
and what happens? No,
I don't know. I have no idea what happens. You have to figure. I don't know. I don't have that answer, Scott. All I know is that they have gone. My understanding is that they have gone totally paperless.
You can't just print out the QR code.
I don't know.
That's what I do. Well, I've seen some people do it. Like when I buy my tickets, my movie tickets.
In fairness, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for
That's
you.
crazy.
I don't have a good answer. I've just heard that this is the case. I don't know nearly enough. What I do know is just that, like at every home game, because it's the 100th anniversary, they're giving out bobbleheads. So I'm staring.
Oh, for the Bears. Yeah, that's the 100 years of the NFL, or
so
the Bears.
I'm staring at my Khalil Mack bobblehead that someone gave me.
Nice.
That I'm like, that one I want, yes.
So yeah, Jeff, what you been doing this week? How was your weekend?
What did I do this week? I watched the Rodman documentary, the 30 for 30 from ESPN.
What's that about?
The Dennis Rodman.
Oh, Rodman. Okay, I thought you said ramen. Like,
no,
what?
So did
Rodman. Not Rodman. Sorry, Rodman.
Okay,
Dennis Rodman, the Bulls and
Kim Jong's buddy.
Yeah, so it was good. It was really a solid piece on him and where he's at, and all the things that have gone on with Dennis, and it's pretty honest. Even now, where it's like with how it ends, it's kind of like Dennis still has his demons, and it's like,
because I remember after his contribution to the Bulls, he went to another team for a while.
Well, things got weird. That's when things got and they talk about that, where it's like he kind of was out of the league, then he was back with the Lakers for a small period of time, and then he tried to. I think he tried to make it come back with the Mavericks in the mid 2000s. That didn't really happen. And then obviously, part of what they talked about is, the crazy part, which is
doing the reality TV and.
Well, no, I mean, the one thing they talked about is it's like, okay, probably the reason why, he had a summit with North Korea is because Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman knew Kim Jong-un and knows Donald Trump.
Huh.
And
it's weird.
And, it's like you could like somebody said in the thing, Hollywood couldn't write it that good.
How's seeing that in your history book?
Yeah, exactly.
50 years from now.
Well, the funny part is I don't even know that it'll get mentioned.
Ambassador Rodman.
Yeah, seriously. But there's some really sad parts of that thing. It's it's interesting to see what you look at how you look at things. The one thing I thought was interesting was near the end they have Isaiah Thomas on, and all of a sudden Isaiah starts to like tear up about feeling bad about Dennis. I'm like, oh, screw you! You are so fake.
Dennis made a crap ton of money.
Well, no, I'm talking about Isaiah Thomas. It's like, screw you. Seriously? If you really were that interested, you'd have reached out publicly at some point or something along those lines, instead of like basically destroying the Continental Basketball Association and then pretty much taking the Knicks to hell and back. If you really were that interested, you'd have been more involved. I just don't buy it. Maybe you did some things privately that I'm not aware of, but I just don't buy it.
Yeah, they had a beef or something, maybe. I guess
I don't
the
know.
personal
like
thing.
I said,
Oh well. Well, where can they watch this documentary?
It's ESPN's got it at this point.
Okay.
So I think you can go to ESPN Plus and pick it up. They have, their 30 for 30s are usually pretty solid, and I think, if I remember correctly, they're doing like a big, huge series next year on the Jordan era Bulls, and I don't know if it's all 6 championships or how that works, but they're doing a big, huge documentary that's coming out next year that looks. I mean, they were already teasing it like this summer, and it's like Jiminy Christmas. Wow. I'm trying to think of anything else from this past week. No, I mean, it's been kind of slow. I hate to say it lately. I'm ready for, honestly, I'm kind of ready for some fall TV as much as I'm not really ready for fall. So.
Well, don't you have things going on with Toastmasters too?
Oh, well, yeah.
Like you're getting very busy with that.
Nothing this week regarding that?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. See, I don't think about Toastmasters when I'm talking about out here. Unless it's like contests or something crazy. But yeah, so I had a couple meetings this week for Toastmasters too, where I'm working on a humorous speech, and I was working on a humorous speech and because I'm competing in a contest in a couple of weeks, and actually one of the things that's actually here, this is amusing. So one of the stories I wanted to talk about, I was going to use Funyuns, because Funyuns, it sounds funny, right?
Yeah, it's a funny word.
Right, but there's a lot of people who be like, I don't get it, what's a Funyun? So I'm like, I try to put it out there on my Facebook page, I'm like, do people know what a Funyun is? And it's like...
I actually looked it up with your spelling, and I came up with a snack.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like an onion ring.
Yeah, I love those things.
Yeah, right, exactly. I just was like, it sounded... Well, I'll give you...
But I didn't know where it came in with speech, though.
Well, because I'm doing this one vignette where I'm talking about how when you go into a place where you're buying something and you put your card in, you're like, whether it be a debit card or a credit card, it says, is this okay? And really, in reality, that's not the right answer. The right answer is this correct? So I always am annoyed because it's not really okay, if you understand what I mean. It's not okay. I don't want to pay that. I'd prefer not to pay that. Is it correct? Sure. So it's always like my pet peeve. So, I mentioned about this one time when I got into it with somebody and I kind of over-exaggerated a little bit. And I mentioned to them, I'm like, no, I would prefer not to pay that much money for tampons, pork rinds, and hemorrhoid cream.
What are you doing with... Oh, the hemorrhoid cream explains the tampons. Okay.
Well, no, these are all just 3...
Those are rhetorical items, I presume, that
right.
Jeff doesn't necessarily require immediately.
I picked 3 things that absolutely was like, what would be funny, and that's why it was like, Funyuns would have worked perfect. It's like a box of tampons, Funyuns, and hemorrhoid cream, but I'm like, people will be too busy going, what's a Funyun? So I'm like, all right, pork rinds it is.
People know what pork rinds are.
Right, people know what pork rinds are.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that. That's the one thing sometimes about speaking is that it's like things that you think people should know. People are like, I don't know what that is.
Or just go the whole Dennis Miller route and just throw obscure things and names and stuff.
Oh, people are... Dude, one of the things I've started to learn is people are not good with that stuff at all. It's like...
It's too over their heads? Too cerebral?
Well, yeah, it's like, oh... I don't know what that is, so I don't understand it. I don't get it.
So, and then the disconnect occurs. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's amazing how many people don't know certain things that you think they know. Like, I made, a couple of years ago for a speech, I made a joke about I wanted to hang out with Deadpool and get the chimichangas. And I figured everybody knows who Deadpool is. The guy had a huge movie. People are like, "What's Deadpool?" I'm like, "Are you kidding
what?
me?" Right.
I still ask who's Tool. So.
Well, again, we're talking about it. We know. I'm always surprised when there are people who are like, "Yeah, I don't know that." It's like, what do you not know? Did you see that there was a movie for this? And they're like, "Yeah." Like, okay.
Well, to be fair, if you don't really follow the movie scene and don't care, most of the time, Sue does it all the time. At commercials, you just hit mute and do something else till the commercial's over. So, it's very possible to not hear of Deadpool or the whole Marvel Universe thing or whatever else.
Well, it's just the people that inhabit me and Jeff's sphere, we all know it. We live and breathe it.
Right.
I've heard some people sit there and go, "I don't know what the Wizard of Oz is."
What?
Yes.
It's 80 years old.
You gotta understand. You got people who have never lived who originally didn't live in America, so.
True. Yeah. The older. Exactly. Yeah.
So then it gets to a point of it's like, well, geez, what do people know versus what people don't know? Because it's like, geez, if you can't say like the Wizard of Oz, what the freaking hell is left? It's like sometimes trying to make a pop culture reference is horrible. Like, don't even make a pop culture reference where people that's anything current unless the people know who the heck it is. You almost have to be like 3 years behind the curve. If I were to make a joke about Old Town Road, people would be like, "What's Old Town Road?" Now, if I make the joke and say about Billy Ray Cyrus, the funny part is if I make a joke about Billy Ray Cyrus, people would laugh, and I'd be like, if I made a joke about the fact that he's on the top 20 this year, but people would look at me and go, "Oh, Billy Ray Cyrus was on the top 20 this year?" It's like,
I would say that.
Yeah, bingo. Yeah.
Well, as far as the music scene goes, there's a vast disconnect from generational gap there. I mean, between.
Well, but yes and no, because some people know names. Like, for example, if I sat there and said Gaga, most people know who Gaga is.
Yeah.
That's for
like her or not true.
Right.
Or let's say maybe Drake. Maybe.
See, now that's an interesting one. I think there would be people who go, "Who's Drake?" If I had some of the audiences that I deal with, that they'd be like, "Drake? What's Drake? I don't know what Drake is."
Or who is Beyonce's husband?
I think people know. See, I think people know who Jay-Z is.
Yeah.
I think people know
Drake?
who Jay-Z is, but not Drake.
Yeah.
And ironically, I think half the people know who Jay-Z is because she's Beyonce's husband.
Yeah. Not just because he's got, mad.
Yeah. Again, I didn't know that. Of course, I don't care.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, the other thing is, like I said, to, you got to be careful because especially now, you can't make a political.
There's a lot of people, like last week, I bet a lot of my younger Facebook inhabitants that I follow, I'm sure maybe they didn't even know who Eddie Money was.
Right. Wow. Yeah, that goes without question.
Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that doesn't shock me at all, which is, it's kind of why, in some ways, when I put stuff on social media, when somebody I die, I always put the music up there with it, because it's like, I want people to, because sometimes they're like, "Oh, I know that song."
Yes, I didn't realize the other day over the weekend about how many songs the Cars made.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, God, yeah, that song.
No. Dude, did you catch the most... Here's the big thing. And I was telling this to Scott before we got on. He was married to Paulina Porskova.
And I'm sorry, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I had a feeling. She's she only graced the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue 4 times the cover.
Oh, okay.
She's she
cover
was
model?
super
Okay.
hot. Yeah. She's
do a Google search, Mike, and click images.
Yeah, she was one of the hot. She was right there with Christy Brinkley and
Would you say she's a model, or would you say she's like supermodel status?
Supermodel.
Okay.
Oh, supermodel.
What's the name again?
Polena Poroskova. I can't spell the last one. She is, yeah.
Yeah.
She's up there with, like, Carol
Polina.
Alt.
Oh, yeah, there's the face. I recognize the face.
Yeah. She was, like, the it girl for a while there.
Oh, yeah. She's done model, actress, and author.
I don't know about an actress. She was in one thing that was really... She was in some Tom Selleck movie, and she was really bad, and I can't remember the name of it.
It was Her Alibi, 1989.
Yep, that's the one.
Yep.
It's really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the reason is she's really bad. Just like Kathy Ireland can't act worth a damn.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the Kathy Ireland film. Yeah, she's awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Cars and Eddie Muddy. Very, very sad.
It is. Speaking of Brinkley, it was reported today that she is off Dancing with the Stars because she fell and broke her arm and her wrist. So now her daughter is taking over her place.
And then Wendy Williams goes on TV and thinks that it's all an act. This was all planned to begin with, and it's like, okay, if you say so. Is anybody?
I don't follow the show, by the way.
Show me the X-rays.
Yeah.
I just saw it on the interwebs.
Yeah, obviously by the time the show airs, that's been there and done. But and I guess Christy Brinkley and Wendy Williams are friends, and it's like that didn't go well. But yeah, I did have some Toastmaster stuff this week, and I finished up a couple of shows. A couple things finally finished out. I was watching the two ABC shows, that Grand Hotel and then that Reef Break show, and they were both okay, but nothing to write home about. I'm curious to see if either of them get a season 2 for next summer. And what did I see? I saw... Who's the chick from Battlestar Galactica, the hot one?
Katie Sackhoff?
Yep, that's the
or
one.
Tricia Helfer. The Cylon chick?
No. Kay Sackhoff. That's the one.
Yeah.
She had a new show on Netflix that I finished out. I think it's something called Afterlife or something like that. It was okay. It picks up in the back half. I'm curious to see if they get a season 2 on it. The back half of the show wasn't bad.
You said it kind of dragged a bit in the middle?
It drags a little bit, and then once you get to like about episode 6, it's like, okay, this is picking up. There's a lot of things in there where you're like, why does this even need to be here? But yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was 10 episodes, so not horrible. But I'm trying to think if there's any. So yeah, I don't know. What about you, Mike? I haven't seen. I'll be honest, I haven't seen a movie lately. So
yeah, I haven't been to the movies for a while. I finally watched my DVD of Rocket Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it still holds up. Great story. As funny as because Wednesday night we've had these storms last weekend last weekend here, and man, like. We had a nasty one go through, and I'm watching Rocket Man. All of a sudden, my phone goes off. A tornado warning, seek shelter. I'm like, holy shit. So my first instinct is to turn off the TV, because that will protect the TV from, in case the house is destroyed. And my second instinct was to go to a window and outside.
Mm-hmm.
Not through the window, but I had to see what was going on outside because of the tornado warning. And it was just like what they say. It's not like an actual sighting. Sometimes it's just in the rotation in the radar. And I went outside just to see this wall cloud that was like probably 40, 50,000 feet. Oh, that's for you, Scott?
Nope, that's not me.
Okay, that ain't me.
No, that's the background of my house.
Okay. So yeah, it was crazy. It had some nasty storms here. A lot of rain. A little bit of flooding in my neighborhood, but nothing in my immediate vicinity, so good for that.
Mike, you did exactly the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I know.
You have a tornado warning.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to cower. I need to see it happen. I want it on my phone. I want to post it to social media as the debris is flying towards my vulnerable body.
Actually, you know, unplugging the TV isn't a bad thing, though.
No, I didn't unplug it. I just turned it off. I had to run.
Oh, okay.
I just
actually the best thing if you want to protect it is unplug it, because if there was a tornado, it hit a power line, it sends a surge down the line and takes out every appliance with it.
Yeah, I've got surge protectors, but they say they're if the lightning
it protects from a surge
from maybe not a lightning bolt from the sky, but oh well. But yeah, so I saw the Rocket Man. This weekend we had the big charity drive at the store. We raised almost $9,000 for Lurie's Children's Hospital in Chicago.
Yay.
So that was good. Yay. Good food. And ironically, my boss, this is all his orchestration. He's a big barbecue guy, so we had the big cook-off and all the other competition. He unfortunately broke his wrist. He tripped and fell, and he fell hard. Actually, he had it on surveillance video of the store, so we had showing people, hey, come on, check the surveillance video, and you can see me fall. And sure enough, yeah, he fell and broke his wrist, and it was pretty bad. So, and then I watched Sunday when Rizzo twisted his ankle. Oh man,
I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that live. I'm like, oh my god, because that was me 3 years ago when I was in Louisville. Chasing green light at an intersection, and the curb went down a couple inches because of the potted plant on the sidewalk, and my foot went sideways just like Rizzo's. I'm like, oh god, it hurts just to watch it. But oh well, I had a good weekend. No tea or just saw. I finally watched my Rocket Man movie that I bought. And I haven't watched any of the bonus material yet.
Okay.
But I had a coworker, speaking of people who don't have a clue as far as pop culture stuff, one of my coworkers, he was an older gentleman, and he finally saw Endgame. And I had to explain a couple of things to him. Because he's like, I was like, well, what was this about? Well, last week because this person... Gamora's back. Yeah, she's from an alternate timeline. Like, well, what? Well, without you, what? And I was like, yeah. So, the time travel thing. Because it gets confusing. But it was good, though. I had a good weekend. It wasn't bad. The rains and the storm. I gotta cut the grass again. It's just growing so fast now because we've had this storms and now we've had this sunny weather at times in between. And it's been not quite fall yet. It's been a little brisk some mornings.
Fall yet.
Yes, it is. It is. Well, technically, it's next week.
Yeah.
But it's coming. We've had some brisk nights, but it's still not cold yet.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're gonna know soon enough.
Nope.
And then this weekend is the DairyCon Fall Meetup, so Ivan's coming down on a train on Friday, and then we'll go up to Milwaukee.
Wouldn't he be coming up?
Going up or down or over or under. Over the river and through the L train woods.
To Grandma's house? Got it.
So, that's good. We're looking forward to that. It's going to be a great time, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, what do we have in the way of news? I don't think a whole lot.
We got a little bit, believe it or not.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if I guess we can use this for now. I don't know why they're doing this, but KFC is making a game where you can date Colonel Sanders.
This is endorsed by KFC?
Yeah.
One of those video game dating games?
Yeah.
Which Colonel Sanders? The original?
Yeah, no, the original. I guess the original.
Old Harlan Sanders.
So it says apparently this is the Steam product listing. So it's some sort of dating simulator where young culinary student who apparently has eyes for Sanders as you cook up what we presume is mostly chicken recipes. You'll make a life-changing decisions that will affect your chances of friendship and love.
Wow.
Along with Sanders, you'll confront other characters, including a dog, and as well as maybe one of the best lists of features ever. 9 lovable characters, multiple hours of playthrough, dateable Colonel Sanders, a secret ending, shush, secret recipes, double shush, cooking battles, battle battles.
Cooking battles.
earn a degree from a fictionary culinary school. 11 herbs and spices, cute miniature food, officially created by KFC. No, really. This is from Game Informer, so apparently, yeah, you can play this game and you can learn how to date Colonel Sanders. So go figure that one.
Colonel Sanders dating simulator.
Yeah, I'm not sure that wasn't really in my line of thought, but I think the other thing is, so more announcements kind of about what's going to be on Disney Plus. So both the Spider-Man and X-Men series from the 90s are going to be on Disney Plus. And a lot of people have an affinity for both of those. And then I guess the Gargoyle show is going to be on there too. So, we're starting to get an idea of what we're going to see there. A couple of things from Warner. J.J. Abrams signed a 5-year exclusive deal with Warner Media. So that means he's probably finishing out Star Wars like he is, and then I don't know if he's got any other commitments before that or not, but they're saying it's about a $250 million deal through 2024. He'll finish out projects. He'll finish out projects for Disney, Lucasfilm, and Paramount. It will also include video games and digital content. My guess is that this is partially, with HBO Max coming down the horizon, I would imagine that we'll probably see some things for HBO Max. That's just a guess. And then there's already rumors that he's been asked about what DC property he'd like to take over. Supposedly.
I think maybe Warner Brothers and DC have got it right, where they need to take the opposite route of the MCU and just do a bunch of standalone films.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm okay with J.J. Abrams depending on what he takes. I'm curious. I'm trying to think of what else Warner Brothers has as major properties. I mean, I know Harry Potter, but what else? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I mean, could he do something animated? Could he do like an animated feature or something? Or with like Bugs Bunny and that
I don't think Abrams has done anything in the animated realm.
Yeah. No, he probably hasn't.
No.
I'm trying to think of what's their big properties, though, because I'm like, isn't Ready Player One a Warner thing?
You think they'd have greenlit a sequel by now if they're going to do a Ready Player One sequel?
Oh, I think the problem is they don't have any. The guy who wrote it, there isn't really a sequel out there, and I think he's in the process of figuring that out. But yeah, I think that's happening. By the way, I'm just trying to think of what they have that he could, unless he just is going to come up with some other originals. But I'm trying. I can't. My brain is mush.
I wasn't big on the Abrams Trek, me personally. I know a lot of people love it, and it just wasn't my bag. And I like The Force Awakens enough. We'll see what he does with The Last Skywalker, or The Rise of Skywalker, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that's... Well, it's interesting because they said about Paramount. So he's still obviously... Maybe he's still working a little bit with... what's his name? Tom Cruise. Still.
Yeah, Abrams could do an action film easily, so do one of the... I don't know if Tom has one more Mission Impossible in him or not.
Yeah, but that's... Yeah.
Just to let you know, Warner Brother franchises, according to Wikipedia, is Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, DC Comics, Hanna-Barbera, New Line Cinema, Turner Entertainment, Warner Brothers Interactive, Warner Brothers Pictures, Warner Brothers Television, and Warner Entertainment Japanese franchises. Those are
I went to go break them down into smaller categories. I went to go break them down into smaller categories or subcategories.
Oh, these are just the header categories. You could
right. No, and I went to go break
look at
right.
Right. Well, like for example, I forgot about Lord of the Rings. So Lord of the Rings is definitely in their realm.
I don't think they're gonna do anything with Lord of the Rings for a while.
I don't think they're gonna do anything for a while either. It's funny they list Blade, but I know Marvel has Blade back. And I'm looking at let's see what else do they. Or pictures. Okay. No, I doubt they're going to do any, and I'll do anything for Ace Ventura. Dirty
What
Harry.
if they do like a continuation, like where Jim
Dirty
Carrey
Harry
passes on? I don't know if Dirty Harry could pass in this.
Who would you get?
In this day and age.
Who would you get in this day and age to play Dirty Harry instead of, Could you even make that Lethal Weapon? But that's on TV, so I don't know that they're going to do anything with that.
Yeah, the Lethal Weapon series. Yeah, I think, is that over now, or are they in their final season?
Wait, The Matrix. Forgot about The Matrix.
Yeah, that's getting...
Mad Max.
I think they're doing a fourth one in that, too.
Right. And they just talked about that, but I don't think he's involved. And I know that they've just rebooted Mad Max. So...
Yeah, with Tom Hardy, yeah.
Right. So... I don't know. I'm just kind of looking, and I'm looking at, it's funny because I'm looking at some of it. It's like the Lego Movie, Looney Tunes. Some of that stuff. I'm just Gremlins. I had heard rumors about Gremlins.
It's all these 80s franchises coming back, so
yeah,
sure, why not Gremlins?
I'd heard some rumors about Gremlins.
They could do a whole lot more with Gremlins now as far as CG and all that. So
yeah,
they wouldn't even need a puppet.
No, absolutely not. Well, it's funny, and I'm looking at things from a TV perspective that are out there just to see what they have that maybe he might want to play with. Like the OC is out there. Veronica. Well, it's interesting because Veronica Mars, I know that they're doing stuff on Hulu. So I don't know. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, I'm curious to see.
Where they're going to put JJ?
Yeah, or what, if there's certain franchises that they've got in mind, or if they're just gonna, let him do his own thing and create new stuff. That's always possible too. I don't know. So I guess that South Park re-signed for a few more years.
Jeez.
I know.
And those guys
feel the same way.
I've only seen one episode per season for 4 or 5 years.
If I'm being honest, I haven't watched since the movie.
That's fair.
I haven't watched since the movie. I feel like it's.
I used to be avid. Maybe 10 years ago.
No.
I was watching every episode as it aired, but now it's all
They have a 3-year deal. They're going to go to season 26.
God, man.
Wow. Now I feel old.
You say back in the 90s when this show premiered, I'm like, this won't last 26 seasons? What are you, nuts? It's the longest running show on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's funny. There's a quote from Trey Parker from Parker from Stone, saying that that right now they're 48 and 50, and they don't think they'll be doing this show when they're 60. So this thing could go on another 10
They don't
years.
have to. They're multimillionaires.
Well, and it's funny because they made a whole lot of money on what do you call it? What is it? Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
So I'm always kind of amazed that they.
I'm surprised they haven't done more side projects like Team America and, like you said, the Book of Mormon and other stuff. At least it's good outlets for them in a live action sense, or something other than just animation that looks like.
Well, they did Basketball.
Oh, that was another one. Yeah, it wasn't very good.
And they did another one that wasn't so good. Wasn't there that Captain Orgasmo?
That was before I think they did South Park. They had Orgasmo.
Was it really?
Yeah, that predated them.
That's really wow.
And that kind of dug into the Mormon thing, too. But no, that wasn't very good. Had a couple of good jokes in it, but overall, as a film, it just was a little flat. They were getting their chops still.
The other kind of big news this week was that James Gunn released the full cast for Suicide Squad.
There's a couple of interesting names in here, so...
Yeah, there's names on here I don't recognize. Obviously, Jared Leto is very much missing, which makes me wonder, new Joker or no Joker at all?
I say no Joker. It's funny that we're getting a Birds of Prey before we're getting this Suicide Squad 2, so might explain why she's not... Well, yeah, the teaser trailer we got said, kind of says that she's not into clowns anymore, so...
Well, it's interesting because I think there's a full-on trailer, but they didn't release it to YouTube. They just released it to theaters for audiences who went to see it. But I don't know. I think it's kind of weird to do that. I'm looking at the names. Some of these names don't ring a bell off the top of my head. The obvious ones that do, Nathan Fillion, obviously, anybody who loves Serenity is, or if you've ever seen Castle, or you get the idea. And he does that show, The Rookie, now. John Cena. And then I'm trying to look who else. Pete Davidson was with Saturday Night Live. Idris Elba, obviously. I mean, the only ones I'm looking at right now that I see that are returning, that I can tell, are Viola Davis and Margot Robbie. That's it.
Yeah, no Will Smith.
Yeah, nobody else is back. And then what's his name? The guy who did Thor, he's in it.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
He's in it, and Michael Rooker's in it too. So that's interesting. Yeah. But it's a James Gunn movie, which means Michael Rooker's going to die because I think he dies in pretty much all of James Gunn's films.
And of course, Sean Gunn's in this because Sean Gunn is usually in James Gunn movies.
It's his brother, so
which is his brother.
Yeah.
And any other. So full list released. He's like, don't get too attached.
Yeah.
So the questions are, how many of them will be alive by the time this is over? But this is I don't know what all these people are, or what they're doing, or what roles they're in.
We'll find out soon.
I'm curious to see which ones live. I imagine if I could put my money on it, you want John Cena, whatever character John Cena is playing, to live.
And we'll see.
That would be one of the people that I'd want to live. I'm kind of curious who he's going to play.
I still haven't watched all of Suicide Squad. I can't sit through it.
Not really, because it's not that bad of a movie.
That's what I've heard mixed reviews, and I'm like, I just can't get into it.
Yeah, I could see it. I didn't have a problem with it, but maybe I wasn't. Then again, this was after Superman and Batman, and I was just like, please don't suck, and it didn't suck. So maybe that was, and then usually when I catch it, when I've caught it a few times, I'm always catching like the back end.
Yeah,
so.
And I guess like Batman was in it for like 5 seconds or something.
Yeah, he's in it, and technically the Flash is in it too. But yeah, there's a few things with Affleck that are pretty good in there that I liked. But
one of these days, maybe if I'm interested enough, because I like James Gunn and. Like we did it with and he also said, that Guardians 3 will be his last one. But yeah. I liked what he did with that. So, did you ever see Brightburn?
No, I did not.
Yeah, that's out on DVD. That could be interesting.
I don't know that I'm interested in Evil Superman. I'm not sure I'm interested in that. Speaking of which, we haven't talked comics in a long time, but apparently Superman is set to reveal his secret identity to the world this fall, as part of as part of a big thing that's coming out. I guess this is for This is in December. Now, for all I know, they're just teasing something, and it should be not that, but supposedly he's going to reveal who he really is or all that stuff, but we'll see. I'm curious to see how this goes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is not the first time that his secret identity's been revealed. But
right,
it's just a press release and just a news item just to drum up some curiosity. But from what I'm told, DC's doing better story-wise with the books. Have you heard anything about what's going on with that Black Label? I mean,
not off the top of my head.
After the whole bat penis controversy, issue 1,
that book kept going. They just basically didn't do that anymore, and but I think that's still. I think they're still doing stuff. I know that the kid Bendis is doing stuff with the kids line, and then Art and Franco are doing Superman of Smallville, or Superboy of Smallville. I can't remember which it is. And that's the thing too. I don't know. From what I hear, things sound interesting over at DC. That they're doing some interesting stuff with this Leviathan thing, and they're going to bring back the Legion of Superheroes. So we'll see how that all works. And then it looks like Doomsday Clock is finally going to end, like by the end of the year, which would be helpful because that thing was supposed to be 12, like a year thing, and it turned out to be almost like 2.
Well, if the readership was up, then they didn't want to end it so fast.
No, that had nothing to do with it. They just ran into production problems, and it's one of those where it's like, if you know you're going to do stuff like that, this is what I don't understand. When you know that you're doing stuff like that, why not have like at least the first 6 issues in the can, ready to go, where you don't have to, where you know that you're way ahead. Because, I mean, that's what they used to do with Jim Lee. Because Jim Lee couldn't make a deadline to save his life for a long time. And books would always be running along from Jim Lee. And then all of a sudden everybody realized, if you give Jim Lee some lead time, then Jim Lee suddenly we don't have these problems with Jim Lee. That's part of it. So, I'm trying to think of anything.
The only other story I saw was just, I guess, that Joe Russo came out and pretty much condemned Sony for the split with Spidey.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
See,
he was just quoted as saying it's just I don't know, I forget the exact wording, but it was just that it was just like a bad move or a bad strategic move or something on Sony's part, so.
I heard a weird thing. I read something weird about where I guess if somebody were to buy Sony, that the rights would revert back to Marvel, which I find interesting because if I'm somebody like, then the example they gave me was Apple was talking about possibly looking to acquire for its purposes of what it wants to do. And one of the names obviously was thrown out was Sony. But now, real fast, the Hollywood Reporter had something interesting about the number of previews shown before a feature.
Yes.
And they said nearly 6 in 10 say that the ideal, 1 to 3 is an ideal number, supposedly. That they know that supposedly, here's the funny part. They're saying that, they say that some of the younger crowd, like the millennials, or the Generation Zs, they like the longer amount of, the 4 to 6 or a little bit more. It seems like the older it is, the more adverse they get to wanting the 20-minute trailer show. But so I don't know. I mean, I know AMC does it, but I know places like ArcLight, they'll do like 2 or 3 and that's it, and they're done. So I don't know. What's your thoughts on it?
Yes, less trailers is good. I'm fine with that. And put them before the the scheduled performance. You get all this, like, you can even like video game commercials and TV show trailers and streaming services and all kinds of other like info stuff before that. But I remember one time seeing a movie and I counted 9 trailers, and I'm just folding my arms like, why did I even get here 20 minutes earlier?
I don't mind 1 or 2 trailers, but past that, that's it. When I used to love it was when I was growing up. We didn't have trailers; we had cartoons.
Yeah,
the featurettes.
Even for the adult movies. So that was great. I used to love that, but trailers. Ugh.
And Ivan used to get the newsreels.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Actually, I do remember a couple of those. I'm only 2.5 years younger than Ivan.
Yeah. Well, we
made a joke last week with Ivan about soundies.
Yeah.
I heard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't. In some ways, I'm kind of glad because it's like if I'm running late, well, okay, there's only 20 minutes of previews. I'm good. But the problem is like, for example, when you start going on a regular basis, it's the same freaking previews.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah, and I saw a couple of movies got ruined for me a couple of years ago. I remember it was like the first, I think it was the year Man of Steel came out, and I saw the trailer for Elysium like 20 times. And it's like, it just ruined it for me. I don't care about this film anymore. I've seen the trailer so many times, I feel like I've seen the freaking movie.
Yeah.
Where it's just oversaturation at that point.
Well, at this point, everything's oversaturated.
Yeah, and it's all about exposure.
That's why I don't watch TV, and I got all the ad blockers,
Yeah, I don't watch it. Yeah. Okay.
Too much ads, and you pay $18 to see hour and a half, 2-hour movie, and spend 20 minutes watching ads.
Right.
I don't know. There's still a part of me that I don't. Sometimes I don't mind.
I say 3 or 4. 4, top it at 4. Don't make it more than 4. I think that's my limit. And that's how then this feature has been rated PG by wherever you get the green screen with the PG rating on it. I'm like, okay, oh my Jesus, start the movie, please.
I don't. I'm less problematic with it than you guys are. I'm just being honest with it. It's,
okay.
Part of it, in fairness, I took advantage of that for Endgame. I asked the guy, I'm like, what is the last trailer before Endgame starts? And they're like, it's this. I'm like, okay. So as soon as I get to that trailer, that's when I'm going to use the restroom, and then I'm good.
Right. That was a different story because of the movie's length. So.
Yeah. And they didn't take a potty break, which they should have. But
or no intermission.
Anyway. Yeah, no intermission. They should have done that.
Yeah.
That is just silly. Because you could sell more food, too.
Yeah, they should bring back the intermission.
Yeah, it's funny. I read something about they were talking about it. Speaking of things that they're talking about, apparently... So we have Lego movies, right?
Yeah.
Now we're going to have Funko movies.
Okay. Oh, my God.
Which, in fairness,
makes sense.
Legos.
It only makes sense.
Yeah.
You know why?
You got Legos. Right.
You know why? Because I go to the toy shows in my area, and Funko Pops are everywhere. Yep. They're omnipresent.
Yeah.
They're at the Walmart. They're at the bookstore. They're at the Walmart checkouts. They're at the toy shows. They're at the Targets. They're on the end caps with all the other product. I don't get it. It's not my thing, but people are into it. Super hardcore. Yeah. So, okay, sure.
I didn't know what it was. I just looked it up. It reminds me. What was that? It was that sort of meme service that you could make the meme look like yourself.
Yeah, I suppose.
That along to other people. They sort of look like that.
They're like bobbleheads, but they don't bobble. They're just little collectible little things with big heads and black soulless eyes. It's not my thing.
Like
but yeah, it
Bob
makes sense because it makes money.
Yeah, I believe as a show, we need to congratulate Ash Ketchum because apparently after 20 years, he's finally won a Pokemon tournament.
Pika Pika. Now he wasn't in the Detective Pikachu movie.
No,
No,
he wasn't. Now that I think about it, you're right. He's not.
Yeah.
It's funny. People were like, took him long enough, but I was like, hey, man. But
well, congratulations, Ash.
Yeah, seriously. It's like, I'm like, that show's still on? Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just impressed that he can look this young still. Like, they didn't age him at all. And
bags under his eyes, no crow's feet.
Yeah.
Hey,
Pikachu
kids.
looking good.
I remember when there were 8 Pokemons, not 2007.
Yeah, Yeah, I feel like every time I turn around, there's another Pokemon out there. It's like
they put out like 100 per year, I think. For a while.
Seriously. Well, they still are. No, they still are putting more out there because they put out new places where they have new types of Pokemon, and it's like, oh, okay.
I remember one time a friend of mine, we'd gone to a movie, and we're in the parking lot after the film's over, and this crowd of people is crossing the parking lot. And it's like 10 o'clock at night and I'm like, who are these people? What are they doing? And they're looking at their phones. Oh, they're playing Pokemon Go. I'm like, okay, they're just wandering the streets looking for their imaginary gym so they can catch Pokemans.
There was some really screwed up stuff.
There was some screwed up stuff. When that hit the mainstream, when that came out initially, there were some crazy ass things happening.
Yeah, like they had one at Auschwitz.
That's just wrong.
Yeah,
that is wrong. Yeah.
Apparently there was a gym. There was a gym put at the White House and nobody knew it. There were a few things like that.
How do you get past the gate to get close enough to?
I don't know. I would hate to find out the hard way. That's for sure.
When this was. I guess Obama, maybe he was playing Pokemon Go.
Maybe.
This is when it came out a few years ago.
Up at the park by my house, there was a whole club, about 50 people that would get together every night, and they'd spread over the whole damn city with things.
Okay.
It was an actual organized club.
Yeah. No, there were a lot of people that would do that stuff.
Yeah.
And then, they had people that we would run into for battles and...
Well, there was that story a couple of weeks ago where the guy had like 9 cell phones.
I think we covered that. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
The guy had all taped to a piece of cardboard or something, and on his dashboard, he had some elaborate setup.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
No, congratulations, Ash.
Geocaching.
You slacker.
Geocaching is a big deal, from what I understand.
Yeah, one of my Facebook friends is big into geocaching.
Yeah.
By the way, on the Funko Pops, I do admit I do like the Daffy Duck dressed in the Superman outfit.
Oh, do they have one like that? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that one I'll give them.
I had the Happy Meal toys of Superbugs and Bat Daffy, I think. Remember, those were cool coming out.
Yeah. So, we talked about weird reboots that we're all sitting there going, huh? We talked about Face Off last week, and we were like, really? Why? And then, so this week...
What's getting rebooted this week?
So, a few other things. So, apparently, Margot Robbie's going to do Tank Girl.
Yeah, okay. I saw it long ago on cable. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, that was not one for me. And now apparently, so while Sylvester Stallone has been doing press, it came out that he and Robert Rodriguez are rebooting that Cobra movie.
Okay. Last Cobra. Yeah, that's right. That final Last Blood comes out this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. Not
yes.
They took away my only thing I loved.
That's right. I gotta find my medication, okay?
Right. But apparently they're talking about rebooting Cobra.
All right. A reboot. Okay. With somebody else. Sure.
Maybe. And Robert Rodriguez, hey, you know what? Robert Rodriguez has made some good movies. I'll give him that. What really scares me, though, is something else that they're talking about making a sequel to. Tango and Cash.
Okay. If you get the right people with the right chemistry.
I think
maybe that's what The Rock and Kevin Hart should be doing.
I think they're talking about bringing them, both of them doing it again. As old farts.
Kurt Russell and Sly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure.
I don't know how that's going to... I don't know if...
All right. What's getting rebooted this week? I think that's a new segment.
Like I said, there's some people with Tango and Cash, you say that name, it's like everybody's like, oh, hell no. But they forget that Terry Hatcher was absolutely smoking in that movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that movie is hokey good for the wrong reasons.
I just remember seeing it years ago when it was on cable. I don't remember much of it.
Is it Jack Palance's the bad guy? I think it is.
Or not.
Hold on. Now I gotta go look. Who's the bad guy for Tango and Cash? I watched that movie way too much. That movie was on way too often for some reason.
Bring back City Slickers.
Yeah, really.
Reboot City Slickers.
It is. It is Jack Palance.
He's a good villain.
Jack Palance. He was a good villain.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird. Yeah. It's like I said. I'd be curious to see how that would all go, but.
Nah.
And I think the last thing I've got. Well, the last thing I got is I guess. Gail Simone was screwing around with something on Twitter, and she made up something, so I'm kind of curious about what your take is on it, Mike, and Scott, too. So, apparently she put something on Twitter about talking about how about pick a name of a Marvel character, then pick the worst possible actor choice to choose to play them. Hashtag terrible MCU casting. This is from so this is the exact tweet. Today's game is this: name a Marvel character, then pick the worst possible actor choice to play them. Please resist the temptation to say Scarlett Joe for everything. Go.
Yeah, Scarlett Joe. She got shit for starring in Ghost of the Shell because of the Asian profiling and all whatever.
So there are some ones here, but I definitely want to get thoughts from you guys on this too for fun.
Okay.
One of them is Ron Swanson as Iron Man.
With a mustache.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they got pictures of this too. Matthew Broderick is Wolverine.
Oh god. Scrawny little 5
Will Ferrell is the Thing.
Just put the rocks on a bunch of rocks around Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's ironic as they put down David Hasselhoff for Nick Fury. But we've already seen that. Get in.
Yeah.
Jay Leno is Thanos.
The chin. Makes sense.
Justin Long is Mantis. That's wrong.
Oh.
Nick Cage is Luke Cage. Jack Black is Captain America. Mr. Bean is Doctor Strange. I kind of want to see that now. Now I kind of want to see that for all the wrong reasons.
Eyeballs.
I gotta read this to you, and you gotta. I don't think I could do the voice. Infinity Gauntlet. Finger snap. Snap of the finger. Poof. Dust. I'm inevitable. I can't do Christopher Walken well enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey. Need a soul stone. Sorry, Gamora. You gotta go.
Yeah. Like I said, I kind of would pay to see Christopher Walken as Thanos. That might not be bad. That might be worth seeing.
Could we get as
So I mean, we could do this for other things too. Besides
we
MCU.
need to fix the DCEU. That's what we need to do. All right.
Yeah, or Star Wars. We could fix Star Wars or something else, or I don't know. What would be good? How about Ralphie May as the Hulk? That'd be interesting. Yeah. That could work. What about Gabriel Iglesias as Spider-Man? I'm going after all the fat guys. That really is wrong. That's wrong. I don't know. The problem is,
I'm thinking
that,
here.
like,
let's see.
What you got anybody, Scott?
I don't know. Is Batman within your qualifications?
Sure.
We can do Batman.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
How about the kid who played Arnold Horseshack on Welcome Back, Kotter for the Joker?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mr. Kotter, you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, the Sweat Hogs are the new Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That'd be, Avengers Assemble.
John Travolta as Captain America.
I can't do John Travolta anymore.
Well, there's the young John Travolta and there's the older John Travolta.
Yeah, we can have both.
Yeah, because of the time, the time travel.
Yeah. No, there we go. We have him play Captain America, so he could be America's ass. Yeah.
Mr. Cotter could be Nick Fury. Let's give him an eye patch.
How about Eddie Boom Boom Washington?
He'd be good Hawkeye. Or maybe one of the third tier ones, maybe.
I keep feeling like, you know what? How about Harold Ramis as the Iron Fist?
Delayed Harold Ramis.
I can't figure out my chi. God, that'd be awesome. How about Bill Murray? Bill Murray. No, see, the problem is Bill Murray would make everything work. Right, Bill Murray would make everything work. That's the problem.
Yeah. He'd work for everything, so he can't be disqualified.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's a part where it's like Bill Murray is Green Lantern. Hey, yo, I'm a Green Lantern.
He just walks around and he's got the ring. He doesn't do anything with it.
Exactly. It's like...
How about Screech from Saved by the Bell?
Yeah, I was thinking Urkel.
Urkel would be a good one for somebody, yeah.
Darth Maul. No, not Darth Maul. What's his McCall? Ben Solo.
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren, yeah. Urkel for Kylo Ren would be perfect.
Did I blow that up?
Grandfather.
You know what? I want Christopher Walker to play the Emperor. Emperor Palpatine.
Sure.
That would have been good.
The hate is swelling in you now. You ever see Balls of Fury? He was great as Fang.
Okay, how about James Earl Jones?
His voice is too badass, though.
You think so?
Yeah, you can't have
Depends on
him.
what you put him in as.
Oh,
if you put him in on like a geeky, non-badass character, maybe.
What if you made him like Pikachu? That'd be funny.
That's all he says is
Pika.
Yeah. Luke.
Actually, you know what? James Earl Jones for Groot would be awesome.
There you go.
Actually, I could see that.
I am Groot.
I never saw Groot other than in
shit.
pictures, but I dig him, so I could see that. Yeah.
Now that'd be pretty good. In fairness.
Yeah, we're jumping around here between DC, Marvel, and Star Wars, but that's okay though. That's okay. Let's have a big mashup.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Hey, if I really want
it's a fun costume party. It's like a fun Halloween Halloween party.
Yeah. Yeah, like Justin Bieber for Harry Potter. That would be bad. That'd be horrible. You know what? Oh no, I was gonna say Zac Efron for
Jerry
Star Wars,
Seinfeld as Plastic Man.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
That's what we need, a Plastic Man movie in the DCU.
They talked about it. That's DC, but they've talked about Plastic Man. They've talked about bringing Plastic Man back.
Yeah. How about the character of, what's his name from that 70s show, Michael Kelso?
Oh, yeah. Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
I
don't know any of the characters, so I'm leaving it up to you guys to guess.
Ashton Kutcher. See, the problem is Ashton Kutcher makes things work now. Like, you could make him Star-Lord, and that would work.
It's like Jason Bateman. He works now in just about everything now, too.
But keep Ashton in the Michael Kelso character.
Yeah, well... Yeah, I guess we can.
Yeah, he could be Thor. He'd work as
God,
Thor.
that'd be... Oh, God. Actually, that would be funny. That would be funny horrible, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's, yeah. Like I said, there was a reason I saved this for last, because I was like, this we definitely could have some fun with, and we could be like, God. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. This is harder than I thought it would be.
Bad superhero casting.
Yeah, this is much more difficult than I imagined it would be.
Jason Alexander is Professor Xavier.
Yeah, that would be bad. I'm thinking about Kevin Hart as Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty bad too.
When 900 years old, you reach.
You know what would be even worse than that? Sam Kinison is Yoda.
Now we're going with alive or dead now, so.
Oh, are we? I didn't know if we were.
I don't know.
How about Betty White? And I say that loving the lady, but how about Betty White?
Oh, yeah, Black Widow. That's for sure.
It could work.
Yeah. See, I mean, the problem is like for the women's roles, I'm trying to think of who you could add in that it doesn't like.
Kellyanne Conway.
Yeah, I was trying to stay away from political.
Or celebrities.
Yeah, I was trying to stay away from.
You seen this new animated series that's coming on Fox? It looks like another King of the Hill, where it's the voices of Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph. That's kind of this like trailer trash kind of family.
Kristen Wiig is Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Would that have worked? Would that have worked, or would it have been bad? That seems bad.
It depends. She can, if he plays it up like one of her SNL characters, maybe.
Or what's the chick who used to do the Superstar thing? That's who they need to be Captain Marvel. That'd be horrible.
Yeah, that would be bad.
That would be really bad.
Get there's lots of 80s and 90s SNL characters we could insert into the superhero genre.
The Coneheads.
Oh, did I see an article that Dan Aykroyd confirmed that Bill Murray is going to be in Ghostbusters 3?
I saw a couple articles that he's confirmed.
Yeah.
And I know Ernie Hudson's confirmed.
Well, finally. Yeah.
I haven't seen anything about
Bill.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about Bill Murray. I can't imagine that he's not going to do it. This is...
Come on.
Yeah, this is buku. I mean, Bill Murray doesn't need it, but this is a big payday for him.
Yeah, and at least do it out of respect for Harold, because the two of them, I guess, were at odds, and then I don't know if they reconciled, but...
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's part of the reason why they had a beef, and then Harold passed away, and they never got to do, they would never... Well, Dan was the one who wanted it. He had the Ghostbusters sequel, ready to go, but they couldn't get Bill on.
Well, in fairness, after the second one, I mean, the second one's okay. It's just not...
Yeah, it's not up to the snuff as the first one.
I mean, the music's better. And we got the cool Bobby Brown soundtrack piece. That was good. But, otherwise, yeah, I'm like, it's Vigo! It is Vigo! I'm like, oh, okay. Vigo, got it.
I wonder if you can get that poster of Vigo and get it framed to put in your house.
No way. No. No.
I'm not super big into the Ghostbusters franchise anyway, but I really liked the first one because it was my time. It was my era.
Well, right.
So all the height of all the 80s franchises.
I never. It's not horrible, but
yeah, second one was.
After the first one, I didn't watch the second one.
Not missing much.
First one I enjoyed.
Yeah, for the most part, I can agree. Most people would. Most people do. So
they just kind of went off the rails in the second one,
and they had all of them like smoked in the first one, and then because of the mass appeal, they had to take the cigarettes away from them. I guess when they did the second one, I guess that was part of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's one of those where you kind of like sit there sometimes and you're like I don't know. I like I said, there's part of me where I still enjoyed seeing the movie, but yeah, it's not nearly as good as the first one. And in fairness, I almost feel like you need to do another one just to take the horrible taste away of the other one that came out a couple of years ago. That thing was bad. I mean, really bad. I mean, that's just nuts. So.
A little useless trivia that their headquarters is actually the headquarters of Engine 8 for the FDNY in Manhattan. So next time I get down that way, I'll try to take a picture of it and post it someplace. Like I said, useless trivia.
No, hey, like I said, hey, I always laugh because one of these, somewhere around here. See, the thing is about useless trivia is it's like almost every freaking John Hughes movie has some sort of useless trivia somewhere nearby my house. Because all that stuff is all over the place. So, but
matter of fact, they even call the company the Ghostbusters.
Do they really? Okay.
Yes, they do.
It's funny, I'm looking at something that just popped up that apparently Alyssa Milano and Holly Marie Combs are going to guest star in Grey's Anatomy for an episode of Sisters. That would be the two people from Charmed. So, go figure. But it's kind of funny that they totally have not involved any of them in the new Charmed, but okay. More power to it. But, I think next week we might actually start to get... I'll start to look and figure it out. I got to start figuring out because we're going to start getting shows. Like
where the fall...
stuff like that. And
fall sweeps are coming.
Yeah, well, the fall... Well, not sweeps, but fall premieres and
new
stuff.
New fall premieres, yeah.
I'm curious to see, what's out there, what's up. And
I've been meaning to get my teeth into the Dark Crystal reboot series on Netflix, but I just haven't been motivated enough yet. So, like, that was one thing. I remember seeing it back in the day when it was on cable and Nausea. I was like, yeah, it was, I remember it being good for its time, but so that's something I'm interested in, and I'll just see if I can, if I can get into it or not. So.
Yeah, I wasn't a big Dark Crystal fan back in the day, so I probably, that's not a direction, but, what else? Oh, well, I've been watching, I know what I was going to tell you. So the 90210 reboot, only 6 episodes, which was smart, and then they left it on a cliffhanger, but they did just enough that I'm willing to take another shot at another season. Like I said, they did this weird thing where they played themselves, but not like caricatures of themselves. So like they were caricatures of themselves making a new 90210. So it was kind of strange, but at least it was a little bit different. And I just think it's funny because some of the things that they did in the show, I thought it was funny because I thought they could have played up more with Ian Ziering and the Sharknado stuff, but they didn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. But yeah. Well, I guess, I don't know, Mike, what do you got going on this week? I don't know. I'm trying to think of what I've got going on.
Yeah, Friday I'll be picking up Ivan, and we're going to our fall special for the DairyCon. That'll be fun. Nice little cookout, just like a meetup pretty much. So it should be lots of fun. So maybe, who knows, maybe you'll see a Facebook Live with me and Ivan this weekend.
Okay.
So that's cool.
Sounds
good.
But
I'm looking forward to that. I'm just getting a day off. And then the following weekend, I'm going to visit my uncle in Pennsylvania. So that should be fun. We're looking forward to that. So we'll have a good time. Looking forward to it.
No, absolutely. Well, and for me, by the time this airs, you'll get a chance to hear it, or see it. Which is, if you're in the Chicago area, drop by the Niles Library from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. There's a storytelling event, teaching event. It is free. You can come out and check it out. The teacher is a guy by the name of Barry Mixon, who I've known for a long time, and he is really amazing. So worthwhile to do that. I am, as a TEDx alum, I got invited to go out to the Vernon Area Library TEDx, and that's happening on Sunday afternoon. I don't know if there's still seats out at the Vernon Area Library TEDx if people want to show up, because that gets booked up pretty good. So, but yeah, that's Sunday afternoon, and then then back to doing stuff, and then other than that, but I'm trying to that's kind of my week. Scott, anything of note?
Not really, just mowing the darn lawn, and I do have to clean one of the apartment buildings in Brooklyn. So, other than that, not a darn thing.
No sleep till Brooklyn. Brooklyn.
Maybe I'll run into the Warriors.
Come out to play, yay!
Yeah. Why didn't they remake that movie?
I think they did.
Did they? No way.
I think so. I'm not sure, but I think so.
They would never. Yeah.
Because I remember some flap over it.
Never say never. I think that's our new segment. This show, what's getting rebooted this week?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, really.
By the way, for the anniversary of that movie, the cast went to Coney Island and they rode the train.
Did they really?
Yeah, the full route into Brooklyn.
Nice.
Well, Coney Island is in Brooklyn, but across Brooklyn. So.
Right.
Oh, one little note that I saw that came up for anybody who's an SNL fan: Shane Gillis was fired by SNL.
Yeah, because they dug up some racist comments. Which he said was part of a bit, but
on
didn't
his
sit
comedy
well with a lot of people.
podcast.
Yeah. Didn't sit well with some people, and you just got to be. Depends on who you are. I guess maybe you can get away with stuff like that, but I didn't hear the phrase, so I can't make a judgment call on it. So,
yeah, neither.
But still, but yeah.
I'll tell you, the days of Pryor and Carlin are gone.
Well, I'd recommend anyone sees that Chappelle special, and I say make your own judgment call on that. But
yep, nothing really going this week, and probably next week. The next big thing I have coming up, like I said, is a trip to the Massachusetts property on Columbus Day. So
okay, well,
if anything comes up, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, and of course, if we have an opening, we'll let you sit in for Ivan once more.
I think you're going to be sitting. Actually, I know for a fact you're going to probably be sitting in the second week of October.
Would it be like the 14th?
Something like that.
That's when I'm going to be.
Not the 14th,
property.
the 7th.
Oh, the first weekend.
7th.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, okay.
First weekend
I
I
think
could
you're
do.
sitting in on that, and then
we get you and Ivan a little bit of discussion.
Ironically, now that I'm looking at this,
I would love to have a show and just roast Ivan.
Yeah.
The three of us roast Ivan.
Well, we might always. One of these times we'll do a 4-person show, but I think I gotta double check what's going on with it, because there's Jewish holiday on one of them, so there may be back-to-back weeks we may need to call in Scott.
Activate the Scott signal.
Yeah, we may need to activate the Scott signal for a couple
An S over the skies of Brooklyn.
Yes.
Mike, I'm surprised you haven't figured out how to tie in some sort of Ivatron 3000 into the system.
He did.
All those old days. You've listened to those air checks where I activated the Ivatron?
I haven't heard them, no.
Okay. Well, I'm sure Ivan's got the tapes. He's got all the archives. Hopefully the cassettes haven't worn out too far, but we got to send you a copy of that. I've got some of the did on disc. I can try and transfer it to a CD or something and get it over to you.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Real quick, thanks for having me on the show again.
Well, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. And Mike, where can people where do they find us? How do they find us? Where do they find us?
You can find us. Oh, we're out there. Let me tell you, we're on.
Yes, we are.
We're on Twitter and Instagram at SOTRT Podcast. We're on Facebook, of course. That's where you get all the funny stories we like to talk about on our sister show, News of the Squared. Shout out to Scott.
No, he's right here.
Okay, we don't have to shout out Scott. He's right here.
Shout out to Ivan. Ivan!
Ivan!
Yeah.
We're on YouTube. Click the bell, subscribe. You'll know when new episodes, new content drops. Now, of course, we're on Podbean. Okay, we are on Anchor. We know this. Now, because of the Anchor partnerships, we are also on Spotify. If you have a Spotify account, listen to us there on Spotify. We're on also Radio Public, Breaker, and Pocket Casts. Those apps you can download for free, and you can listen to our show in lots of places. And I'm going to check in. I think I might have to check an account, and we might be also on Google Podcasts as well. I'm going to check on that as well. So we're out there, but we appreciate you listening at any platform or format, whatever. You can email us at sotrtpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep. Okay, I think that's going to do it for this week.
Man.
Thanks for...
Yep, we're down the drain. Another episode 68 is down the drain.
Sorry, guys.
No, that's fine. That's perfect timing. We're down the drain, and thanks for joining us. Have a great week, everybody. Perfect.